Alright, ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to Go4WoT Asia Cup 15, and our next match will be between Team Immortals and Team No Real Danger, which we saw pick up a convincing 2-0 win in the previous match. Let me quickly fix the teams. Alright, it should be good to go in the match between No Real Danger and in the match between No Real Danger and Team Immortal any second. We saw No Real Danger, like I said, pick up a convincing win against Team Metal Tank Company Clan. That was a very well played match by them, while Immortals won in overtime against, I would need to check. They won in overtime against Swordfishes, so No Real Danger more convincing than Immortals, but Immortal has the better seeding, so they did get to pick. And No Real Danger will be on the attack first. Just trying to sort out the rosters here. Seems like some small roster changes. Okay, we'll be in our way in 5 seconds. Alright, we'll be on the side of No Real Danger for Lakeville, and they'll be going with a lineup of double 5100, triple IS3, T54 lightweight, and a 12T. On the other side, we have Team Immortals, which will be bringing a 5100, triple IS3, 3090, and a T54 lightweight, and a Lost Tank, a T37. Both teams going really heavy, so I think we're gonna be seeing a pretty big city engagement. So let's go to Scout Marty Boy and see where he decides to go. He does seem to be going towards the A line. Alright, as we can see from Marty Boy, he's driving towards the middle, fairly standard opening, while we have the rest of the team from No Real Danger just watching towards the zero line, nothing too special. Let's go check out how Immortals are trying to defend. They're very stacked over here. We have a T54 lightweight in a sneaky position behind the house, which is being used fairly common on Lakeville. He has a good angles if he decides to push around this area. He has pretty good angles. We can see double IS3 over here, which also have good angles onto if No Real Danger would push, and we have D-Kitten also in a pretty good angle. We can get to him. Let's quickly switch over to his perspective. Here we go, the kitten, and as we can see, when he peeks out, he will be reverse backside scraping, and he'll be having a pretty good view on No Real Danger, which is pushing the zero line. So if they are not careful, they could be running straight into the trap that Immortals has set up for them. Lakeville is a typical, more defender-orientated maps in most cases. I mean, there are teams that know how to attack, but they're very limited. It's very hard, and you can make very limited mistakes to break a defense. It seems like No Real Danger is just slowly moving up towards the positions of Immortals. I hope they're aware of the positions that the IMT and the Kitten could be in, because they could be caught off position really. It does seem like IMT takes a big hit for 400, while block behind you takes another hit for 350 from the Kitten. So both tanks known when they're spotted. 12T trying to land some shots on the IS3 and the T54, but for now not hitting anything, bouncing off of the turret. So Seems like no real danger. They know pretty well where the enemy tanks are. Just a matter of how do they decide to execute it. Oh, this is a smart move from no real danger. If we go to dead for Rat's position, we can see here he has a little house to cover himself, and he decided to start the cap. Well, oh, the kitten is taking a huge amount of damage. Just takes 700 down to 160, and is still in a lot of trouble. Oh, and he goes down to TKRR. Beautiful trap set up by those 5100. Taking down the IS-3 in a really crucial position. That was really well executed from no real danger. I don't think the kitten should have been peeking there, but nevertheless, they penetrated the shots that mattered. And as counter reaction, we can see Unreal Rogue and IMT hates 25 going through the valley, but this could be worrying for Immortals if they do not speed up with this, because all this time, that for Rats has been in the cap. So you can see both tanks slowly moving up into the middle, where Marty Boy will become aware of them within a few seconds, and if he doesn't have any support, this might be a bad engagement for Marty, and should be spotted here any second, and does spot Hades. So Marty Boy, tier 6 versus tier 8, we know how this should end. Bounces a shot from the 1390, doing some good damage towards Hades. I'm not gonna lie, he's doing some nice damage, sets him on fire as well. Marty down to one shot though, so Hades should be picking up. Marty Boy doing half HP damage as well. The cap is being split up by Will, so Wills is also trying to hit the 5100 in the open. Niego taking huge amount of damage, down to one shot, and goes down to Wilso as well. This is looking really well for No Real Danger, which is in a prime position to pick up this round. And the IS-3s from Immortals are trying to push, but they're pushing into the crossfire that Immortals has set up for them. But they have to go and reset the cap. Panzercheer is trying to block him off from resetting. Beautiful blocks coming out. Oh, the cap does get resetted by Unreal Rogue, and Wilso does go down, but No Real Danger still has a nice advantage in this round right here by doing a lot of damage. But we can see Dead for Rats is going for Unreal Rogue, so ooh, does miss a shot there. But in the meantime, Panzer here is in a lot of trouble, getting flanked as well by Hades. But Zeus is down to one shot, and Hades is unloading onto Panzer right now. So Panzer should be able to finish off Zeus before he goes down. Misses a shot. It's not good, but No Real Danger should be having enough lead. And Unreal Rogue goes down as well, while Hades picks up Panzer here. So it's a 3v3 situation right now, and Extravagance down to a one shot, and he's looking at the 1390, ignoring the T54 behind him, and the 54 bounces, does land the shot on the 1390, but should be going down here to see a 5M any second, and does go down, but it's a 2v1. It's Dead for Reds and Tiki RR versus IMT. This should be done, and dusted for No Real Danger, and they should be picking up the first round on Lakefell attack. TKRR does land a nice shot onto C5M, but there's not much he can do in a 1v2 with 1 minute 40 left, and TKRR does finish him off. Beautiful play by No Real Danger. I do feel like Immortals threw the opportunities at No Real Danger in this round. First, C5M getting caught out a little bit by peeking from around the house, and then let me check again who it was. It was the kitten getting caught out by the two 5100s from No Real Danger. If you can see, those 50s did a lot of damage. You can see the spread between No Real Danger is much better than the spread for Immortals. Those 5100s, Wilson and TKRR did make a big difference. I think if that IS-3, the kit that didn't get caught out in his position, they were actually in a really advantageous position, because they would have had that IS-3, but I'm not sure why he was speaking. Maybe he didn't think the 5100s were there, but it was a big mistake, and it did cost his team the first round. So No Real Danger will be going up 1-0. So the sides will be switched now. No Real Danger will be on the defense, while Immortals will be attacking. And attacking is the harder side, like mentioned. So we're gonna see what they can bring up to bring this back and bring into a tiebreaker. But for now, No Real Danger is in the prime position to take this. Let's be honest, Lakeville is a defensive map, so if they play it out wisely, they should be able to pick this up and advance to the grand finals, which would be a really good job for No Real Danger, which is a team that doesn't get there so often. So for them, it would be really nice if they get there and get to fight either Super Noobs or the other team they're facing. I'm not currently sure which it is, but either Super Noobs or the team they're facing. So No Real Danger, 1-0 up on Lakeville on the defense. Tank picking is going on. Tank picking should start any second here, just waiting for the teams to start picking. just waiting for teams to start picking. Let's talk about what other strategies there are on Lakeville. We saw a very heavy zero line push from No Real Danger. If you look where my crosshairs on the map, oh, both teams already nice. But the other thing is, what you can do with a lot of teams is play more light and use your scout to spot. But it seems like both teams are going with a very heavy lineup again. So let's see how this is going to work out. No changes for both teams. So for No Real Danger, we'll be having a triple IS3, double 5100, a T54, and a 12T. While for Immortals, we'll be having a 5100, triple IS3, a 1390, and a T54 lightweight, and a T37 to finish off with. So let's be curious how No Real Danger decides to set up. If they decide to set up similarly to Immortals, but maybe a bit more passive with certain tanks, so they don't get caught out of position, or they decide to go for a more aggressive city push to make sure that Immortals can't take over the zero line. Does seem like they're going more passive. Let's follow Marty again and see what he's going to do. We'll check up the setup from Immortals at the meantime. We can see that they are going more aggressive into the city. This position here from Hades allows them to spot through the zero line, which means if the enemy would be pushing with a lot of tanks through the zero line, which sometimes do, that he would be able to spot them and retreat through this position back out and support his team. That's why his team is also staying fairly passive. Oh, they are trying to blind? No, they're trying to shoot Marty Boy. Marty Boy in a lot of trouble. It's down to a one shot. Oh, and he goes down to Unreal Rogue. That's a huge pickup to begin with for Team Immortals. I think Marty Boy did get spotted by Unreal Rogue. We almost missed that. And the Ice Streets, ooh, Dead4Rat's taking a big hit from, oh, another big hit. Dead4Rat's down to 558 HP. We can go check quickly to Dead4Rat's position, Unreal Rogue's position, I mean, sorry. He's spotted them crossing through here, and Dead4Rat does land a nice blind shot onto Unreal Rogue. I'm not sure, he shouldn't be spotted. If he does get spotted, he will be going down, but that's a nice damage advantage lead for Team Immortal right now. While things have calmed down, we can see that Dead4Rat is trying to figure out how to reposition himself, but it seems like the Kitten is not gonna trying to make up for his mistake in the last round. Takes the bush over here, which spots if somebody in the bush is over here. But if this comes down to one-on-one engagement, the Kitten should still be able to win this. He does know where Dead4Rat is. I think he's, yeah. Oh, Dead4Rat does land the first shot, so the Kitten will back off. But as soon as Hades 25 comes over to support the Kitten, No Real Danger is going to have to react, because they are in a more defensive position over here, as you can see. But Wilso is going to try and make the crossing. This could be, if he makes it across, this would be great, but he should be taking some damage for crossing here. But it doesn't seem like Immortals tanks are all set up for this. No, they're moving towards the zero line, so Wilso will be able to get across here. He probably will be spotted, but he'll be able to cross for free. So this will secure the 1-2 line again for No Real Danger. So even if Hades would go to the Kitten and they would decide to push the 1-2 line, they would be in a good position. But it does seem like Immortals is moving up in the zero line, and Panzer here got caught out for a huge amount of damage, already down 1,000 hit points. And ooh, seems like No Real Danger isn't in the greatest positions right here. Their Immortals is allowed to freely peek onto them, but the Kitten could be making a mistake at the same time. If Wilso spots him, which he does, and they should be able to take him out. Nice shot from Wilso, both 2 hits from the Kitten, but a nice snapshot onto the Kitten, which should be going down here any second. So in the meantime, I think we'll be seeing the Kitten should be going down here in a second to go. Wilso, ooh, misses his first shot, should land this one. Misses another shot, should be going down here any second. Ooh, Wilso almost lost that engagement, but does go down. But in the meantime, T5M picked up, blocked behind you, and it seems like Immortals just overrunning the zero line right now. Extravagance taking another 2 big hits, down to 116 HP, down to 1 shot, and TKRR does go down. T5M is just pushing forward. Panzer here is also down to 1 shot now, while C5M, while Extravagance get destroyed by Prio right now. So Panzer here is down to a 1 shot, and I don't see a way for no real danger to come back out of this. No, Wilso's a one-shot and Netferats is a two-shot. Immortals also has a cap started, so seems like we'll be going into a 1-1 and into a tiebreaker match between these two teams. Fairly interesting how I'm not sure how No Real Danger was trying to defend the zero line against triple IH3. I think they were kind of got out of position because Immortals were just freely allowed to peek onto them and do the damage. So we'll be going into a tiebreaker match. Just a matter of time. Wilson is in a 1v6, not much he can do. Should get some damage onto Hades over here. Oh, bounces the shot and Hades does pick up Wilson. So scores all even now. 1-1 for both teams, and we'll be moving into our tiebreaker match, which I need to check which map is. Which map it is, my apologies. So the tiebreaker map will be Himmelsdorf. Very interested on who will be starting on the defense over here. Let's quickly look at the damage. For No Real Danger, yeah, Marty Boy did get caught out in the beginning, and TKRR, who did very well in the last round, didn't manage to put out, only managed to put out 2 shots of which 1 penetrated. It's not enough in a 5100 will, so 6 shots, 2 pens again, not enough. On the other side, we can see 1400 spotting damage from Unreal Rogue through that bush, so he brought this round back for his team by going in that bush and spotting them all crossing and doing some nice damage on the crossing. Quickly asking if everything's alright, making sure the stream doesn't go down again. So, Immortals gets to pick the side because they, because when it comes down to a tiebreaker, the team that won quicker on the tag gets to decide which side they want. So Immortals won quicker than No Real Danger, so they get to defend, obviously. For lineups, it should be fairly standard. Both teams should be going with 3 to 4 IS3s, 2 5100s, and a scout. The variations you can see is a T32 sometimes, or an extra 5100, maybe even a Borsig, a Rheinmetall Borsig, which is a tier 8 German tank destroyer, but that's not so common anymore in 750 in this mode of Himmelsdorf. When it was still the old Himmelsdorf without the moved cap, a lot of teams would bring the Borsig because of its good alpha and camo. But now that in 754 you have to move a lot, so the Borsig isn't very quick, so it isn't so useful. Getting the time picks on the way, it does seem like both teams are going to go fairly standard. I'm just waiting for both teams to finish off their lineups and we'll be getting this underway again. So Himmelsdorf, in 754 with the reformer of Himmelsdorf, you'll see a lot of teams go for the second base now because when the caps weren't moved yet, it was easier to attack the first base than the second base because you could cap behind the building. But now with the moved cap, a lot of teams are going for the second cap. So I wouldn't be surprised if the defending team, which will be Immortals, will be going on the defense towards that side and leave less tanks around the one cap, or they will be going for a very aggressive one cap defense, which they will rotate out quickly and try and surround the enemy. But it's very risky because it might just cap you out. In a lot of other regions, what we see is teams keeping 2 tanks to defend the second cap, in A6 and A5, which I'll show in the minimap once we get in game, once the teams are done with finishing their lineups. Keeping 2 tanks there that can reset so they don't have to push in all that much. Also, guys, don't forget, if you want to keep updated to anything happening around WoT tanks or related to ESL, follow them on Twitter, and don't forget to like their Facebook as well, at ESL WoT. Okay, just waiting for teams to finish off their lineups, and we'll be getting underway any second now between the tiebreaker between No Real Danger and Immortals. Immortals did look very impressive on their attacking round on Lakeville. Wasn't really close at all, if I'm honest. It was a 6-6v1 in the end. So I'm kind of wondering what they're going to be able to bring on the defense. Some people would say that Himmelsurf now is 50-50 defense and attacker, but I'd still rate it 60-40 for the defense, just because you have the advantage of not having to push in at a certain point, because you have the time on your side. Alright, so we're in game now. We'll be on the side of No Real Danger again, which will be going with the lineup of triple 5100, triple IS3, and a T37. And for Immortals, we'll be having a setup with double 5100, 4 IS3s, and a T37 as well. So I'm gonna be interested to see what both teams decide to do on the attack and defense. There's a lot of variations what you can do, so it's gonna be nice to see what both teams can bring out here. I'm gonna follow Unreal Rogue first, because the initial scout on Himmelsurf is extremely important to figure out what the enemy is doing, but a little bit of team blocking. So we're gonna follow Unreal Rogue, see what he does and see what he can see. Oh, but this is very, very interesting from No Real Danger. What we can see here is, I'm gonna go back up to the other guys. They are pushing their IS3s uphill with their 15100s. What they are trying to do is, they are letting Team Immortals spread their tanks out, and they want to catch them off guard by pushing everybody over the hill. Also, a very interesting bush being used from Unreal Rogue. Let's go back here. This bush is not used by a lot of teams because it's fairly risky. If somebody moves up to the window here, they'll spot him, but he will spot the 8 line and this crossing over here. So, but for other setups, you can see double IS3 over here looking towards the 8 line, and this is what I was talking about for the rest of the tanks. We can get to them. Yes, here. T5M and Hades are both watching the 0 line. It's also fairly common to have a tank back over there, but T5M's position is fairly standard because he can side scrape and watch towards here. But we'll see the push off from the hill right here from No Real Danger, and if they just keep pushing, they will be able to overrun. Depends now if they're just going to keep pushing, and Wilso and Death4Rats both taking a big hit. It doesn't seem like they're going to commit completely for the both tanks, which could cost them in the end. I mean, if they don't know this because we have the overview. Wilso taking another big hit for 465, but does catch C5M in the side. Will be putting out a lot of damage over here. 2 more shots and he will be going down. Oh, misses the shot. Oh, but C5M does go down to Death4Rats, so a big advantage right now for No Real Danger, which has the cap started as well. You can see from the back, Unreal Rogue is trying to flank with the Kitten, but Death4Rats is already moving to support that position together with Marty Boy, and they have the cap going on. Seems like, oh, Wilso does go down to Ningyo. I think he was just trying to make a shield for China. Yeah, he just made a shield for China Net. So for now, it's just up to No Real Danger to hold up this position. TKR taking huge amount of damage and goes down to Hades 25 as well. Got caught out by the Kitten and Unreal Rogue from the side. Death4Rats is trying to punish the Kitten though for moving up. Does take a big hit in return for 308. Brings down the Kitten to 492 HP. But Death4Rats is on reload, and in the meantime, we can see China Net is getting pushed by Ninyugo, which goes down to 132 HP as well. The Panzer here down to 120 HP, and Death4Rats also down. Death4Rats does go down to Unreal Road. Panzer here will go down to Hades any second here. Extravagance picking up Ningjio at the same time. but Hades does pick up Panzer here. Extravagance is trying to do what he can, but it's a 3v5 situation right now, and it does look like Immortals in the tiebreaker will be able to pick up the win against No Real Danger. Marty Boy tried to do what he can, trying to pick up Prio, bounces the shot. Unlucky for Marty Boy, but there's not much he can do in this situation. He's just trying to do as much damage as he possibly can, while Hades does pick up Prio, so it's a 3v4 again, but HP is still in the favor of Immortals right now. Extravagance is a one-shot, ChinaNet is a one-shot, Marty Boy is a one-shot as well, so nice try by No Real Danger. I saw the ID they had was good, but the part where it went wrong is because there were two tanks that were watching towards the zero line. You had Hades and what was the other one? I think it was C5M, yeah. Hades and C5M, even if they went down, because they both went, C5M went down in this position, gave the intel that was needed for Team Immortals to come back to the base and defend it. So well played out by Team Immortals, and a very nice try by No Real Danger. No Real Danger will move on to the third, fourth place match, while Immortals will be going into the Grand Finals, and this will be against... Give me a second to look up the bracket. Immortals will be playing Super Noobs. Super Noobs, everybody will know them. They're a really, really good team, and no surprise to see them in the finals here again. So No Real